Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Mimi's Makeup. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to make this beautiful sun hat. It's a knitting hat. It's really easy to do. So if you love doing something festive in this time of the year and in the same time you are a beginner and really want to do something really easy and at the same time look so beautiful like this, so this video is for you. So if you want to see how I did this Santa hat, this beautiful Santa hat, please keep watching. Okay, let's start. This is the yarn I'm gonna use in this video. As you can see, I have two pulls of yarn, two skeins, red and off-white. You can use white also. This is Himalaya Everyday Big and it's 100 gram, 80 meters or 78 yards. I have two colors because it's Santa, so of course you need a white or off-white and red. And this is circular knitting needle. It's number 7mm. So this is what I'm gonna use in this video, and I'm gonna use the stitch marker to mark the beginning of every row. So let's start. So let's start our first row over the stitches. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take a really long tail, as you can see here, using the off-white yarn, of course, because it's the beginning of the hat. And now I'm gonna make the first stitch, and just like twist and make the first stitch just like that. It's really easy. And then I'm gonna take one needle from my needle, one part from my needle. I'm gonna work on one part right now to make the stitches. I'm gonna make 62 stitches. As you can see, I just adjusted it to that needle and it's perfect. So what I'm gonna do now, adjusting everything, so I'm gonna leave the tail down and my connecting yarn upwards, so I know which is which. Okay, so now I flipped my stitch to make everything even, and now I'm gonna hold my yarn with my fingers just like that, and I'm gonna use my thumb and my index to separate the two strands of the tail and the connecting yarn, as you can see here, of course. And now, as you can see, as I'm holding the needle like this, I have like a heart shape with 4 strands of yarn, and this is where we're gonna work. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold the stitch with my needle and go from the first strand and go around the third just like that, and then go back from the first two and pull. And now I finished that second stitch. Do it again, hold the yarn, I have my heart shape, and go under the first strand and around the third strand, and going back again from both 2 and 1 and pull. It's really hard to explain, but as you can see, like the image is self-explanatory. So just if you work with me right now, it will be so easy for you. At first it will look so hard and feel weird if it's your first time, but as you take the hang of it, it will be so easy. Now I'm working on my regular speed without any speed in the video. It's really easy when you know how to do it. It's really easy, just like very easy. So I'm gonna do 62 stitches for a medium-sized head. So you can increase or decrease, but you need an even amount or even number of stitches. So keep that, you need an even number. Okay, now I finished my 62 stitches, and as I told you, I need an even number of stitches. So if you're gonna increase or decrease, you need an even number. So this is my stitches and my other side of the needle. Sorry, our focus. So as you can see, this is my stitches and in the plastic part as well. So I need to take the rest of the stitches to the other side of the needle, the middle needle, so I can work. This circular needle is so big. If you find something smaller than that, would be easier for you, but if you don't, just work like I do. So what I'm doing now, I'm just take some of the stitches to the other side so I can work with. It's really like annoying at first, but as you work, it will be easier and get used to it. So now I have kind of a circular shape to work with. The first row always hard row to work, but after you finish the first row, it will be so much easier and you will get used to it, especially with this really long circular kind of thing needle. It's really annoying at the beginning. So this is the stitch marker. I'm gonna leave it beside me because I'm gonna use it in a minute. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna crisscross the first and the last stitches. So I'm gonna take the first stitch I made from the left side to the right side, or the right needle. just like that, okay? And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the last stitch, which is the second one right now, and take it from above or around the stitch that I just take, or switch it to the other side, and take it from the right side to the left side. It's kind of hard because the yarn is weird, but you can see I just did it. So crisscross these two stitches together really help to make an even end, like take the beginning and the ending of this circular hat together. So when you finish your hat, you will never be able to know where the start or where the beginning of the work. So now I'm adding my stitch marker because it's so important, because if you don't add it, you will lost in the work. So this is the marker till it's the beginning of the new row, okay? So it's so important, don't lose it. So important. So now we're gonna begin our first row, and I'm gonna take my yarn and just take it around my needle just like that, and take it. This is a knit stitch. We're gonna work in one knit, one purl, one knit, one purl. This is the pattern that we're gonna work with. That's why we need to have an even number of stitches. Now we're gonna take the yarn to the other side, and then I just take my needle and wrap it around and pull. And this is my second stitch, which is purl, and take the yarn to the other side, and again do a knit stitch. And again I'm gonna take it to the other side, or my side, and work a purl stitch. So it's one knit, one purl all the way around. The work will always start with knit and finish with purl. So this is the pattern. It's so easy. So we will have this ribbed pattern when you finish the hat. So as you can see, the first row is really hard. It feels so tough and so stiff, and it's kind of hard to work with, but as you go it will be so much easier, and from the second row it will be way easier. So I'm gonna speed it up a little bit and leave this whole row for you to see, because if you can find a smaller circular needle and you're gonna work with the same length or something big like what I'm working with, and it's your first time, so you need to see what I'm doing here right now, because it's kind of tricky. For the first time you will feel like it's weird how I'm gonna work with that. So keep watching and see what I'm doing after I finish the stitches from the other side, on the left side of the needle, and what I'm doing. And this is the step that you're gonna do every time you complete the stitches from left side to the right side. So keep watching, and I'm gonna see you at the beginning of that second row. As you can see, I finished the stitches from this needle, and I still have a lot of stitches need to be done. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go from the middle here and just pull the plastic or the circular part of the needle and adjust everything again, and take the stitches to my left needle and continue working. So this is basically what we're gonna do every time. So it's kind of tricky at the beginning, but we get used to it. So keep watching, and I'm gonna see you at the beginning of the second row. Okay, so we're almost there. So we are at the last stitch, which will be a purl stitch. Okay, so we always start with knitting purl and a knitting stitch, and we're gonna finish with the purl stitch. So we finished the first row right now, and as you can see, my marker is free. This is the tricky part. You need to pay attention to your marker every time and take it with you as you work. So as you can see, I just took it from the left side to the right side. So now I know I'm going to the next row, which will be the second row. So now let's get started and continue working. So the work now will be so much easier because we finished the first row. So as usual, we're gonna knit the first stitch. So we're gonna wrap the yarn around my needle and just grab it in just like that, and flip and do a purl stitch, just like we did for the first row. It's just the same pattern. Start purl, knit, start with knit, purl, and we finish with purl. It's so easy. This is the work. As you can see, I'm working just a lot of stitches, so you can see the difference between the one row and two rows. And as you can see, I have a circular work. It way like a little bit bigger, way nicer to work with, will be easy. You will see by yourself. As you can see, this is my tail. It's a little bit obvious now because, you know, this is the difference between the length between the first and second row. But when we weave in this tail inside, you will never be able to see the difference. And the beginning will be one circular thing, and you will never know where this hat was, where is the beginning of this hat. So as you can see, the pattern begin to be a little bit obvious. And of course, it will be more obvious after I finished a few more rows. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna keep working like a few rows with the white or off-white color, because we are making a Santa hat. So the Santa hat usually have a really nice white beginning and then a red color, and then a really nice pom-pom at the top, as you saw in the beginning of the video. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm gonna work a nice part of off-white color, and this part will be like I'm gonna just flip it to make it nicer. So yeah, keep working. So I'm gonna show you now how it's gonna look like. Keep working, so the work is way easier. I'll get used to it. It's your first time using this kind of a large circular needle. The first two rows will be a little bit tricky, but after you get the hang of it, it will be so much easier. So I'm gonna keep working, and now after I finish, I'm gonna just as I told you, I'll finish a few rows, and I'm gonna come back to show you how to connect the red color, so we begin the rest of our hat. So now I finished the second row, and always I'm gonna end with purl stitch. And here we go. So take the marker with me. Don't forget the marker. Never forget the marker. And now start with a knit for the third row. And continue working like this. It's so much easier right now. As you can see, the pattern begin to show up more obvious with this 3 rows, and that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna continue working just like that to have a nice part of a white color, and I'm gonna come back with the red color to show you how to connect them with the work and continue. Okay, so I finished about 15 rows of white color, and as you can see, it looks so beautiful. The ribbed pattern is so amazing, and of course you can increase or decrease the rows, number of the rows as you like. For me, 15 is pretty good. So I'm gonna like fold the end of my hat just like that. So this is pretty good for me. So let's start and connect our red yarn. So the marker is always here because I'm at the beginning of the row. So I'll just leave it just in front of me all the time so I don't forget it. It's so important because I don't want to lose the beginning of my rows. Okay, so this is my off-white color. I'm not gonna use it again, so I'm gonna just take it to the side right now. I'm gonna cut the yarn later on, and I'm gonna take my red color and just fold it just like that to make just a small loop just like that. Okay, and hold it in my hands. And again, don't forget the marker. It's the beginning of the row. Don't forget the marker. Okay, so now I'm gonna fold my yarn just like that. Okay, and I'm gonna just take my needle inside my stitch and take the red yarn and just add it like that. Okay, so it works as the white color actually, and just I'm gonna finish my stitch. It's a knit stitch, so I finished it. So now I connected my red yarn. So of course it's not 100% connected and secure in place, so like be careful when you work the first two stitches. So now the next stitch will be a purl stitch. So I'm gonna take the connecting yarn, just take it to the other side and finish the purl stitch as usual. So now as you can see, I have a tail, a red tail, and a connecting yarn, red connecting yarn. And I'm gonna I'm gonna continue working with the red color over the off-white color as usual, like as there's no change in the color whatsoever, and working with the same pattern, knit, purl, start with knit and finish with purl. Okay, at the beginning it looks a little bit weird. As you can see, this just looks a little bit odd. It's not beautiful. This is the wrong side of the work. This is the right side. But after we finish like a second row, it will be so much nicer and looks so much prettier. So just continue working until you finish like 2 or 3 rows with the red color, and you're gonna see by yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna continue working and finish this row all the way around with the red color. As usual, there's no change, just like work as you don't change the color. Okay, for the white yarn, I'm gonna cut the yarn later on and just secure it in place, but I just wanted to finish this row first. So now I am at the last 3 stitches of this row. Now I'm gonna work a purl stitch, and now knit stitch, and the last stitch will be purl stitch. So I'm working on the right pattern. And take the marker with me. Don't forget the marker. The marker is important. And just go to the other side, and now I'm gonna go to the next row. Of course I didn't secure the yarn, that's why it's a little bit loose. So if you feel it's not really nice working like that, so secure everything before you start. But for me, because I know what I'm doing, so I didn't secure them, so it's really nice for me to work like that. So the first stitch was a knit stitch, of course, and next one purl and knit, purl. Okay, now I'm gonna show you just work like a few stitches from that next row, the second row of the red color, so you can see, as you can see, become more nicer. These tails I'm gonna finish and weave in later on, but as you can see, begin to be way nicer and way like the red and the white just like overlapping with each other in a very nice way, more than the first row. We're gonna continue like that until we finish like a few rows of the red color, like it differ from one to other. So I'm gonna continue the hat with the red color, and then I'm gonna come back to you to show you how to decrease this number of stitches to finish the ice cap or the hat, the Santa hat. So I'm gonna keep working with the red color now, and of course I'm gonna cut the off-white color and weave in everything inside my work so everything looks beautiful and secure. And I'm gonna come back to show you how to decrease the number and finish everything to make this beautiful Santa hat wearable. So stay tuned. So now, as you can see, I finished my red part of my hat. Looks so beautiful, and I'm almost at the last stitch, and I finished about like 25 rows of the red color. You can increase or decrease as you want, but for me 25 rows was so pretty. So now we're gonna go to the next step, which is a decreasing of the number of the stitches so we can finish our hat. So I'm gonna take my stitch marker again with me. It's so important. So what we're gonna do, it's really easy. We're gonna decrease on 3 rows, okay? So the first row will be way easier than the last row. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna take 2 stitches together. We're gonna do just a knit stitch in every stitch, but we're gonna take 2 stitches together, as you can see, just like that, and yarn over my yarn around my needle and just finish with 1 stitch, with 1 knit stitch. So I decrease 2 to 1, and again I'm gonna take these 2 together and decrease them to 1 stitch, 1 knit stitch. So as you can see, I'm decreasing 2 stitches to 1, but I'm gonna decrease in 3 rows of decreasing. So this is the first one. So I'm gonna work like that all the way until I reach the marker again. Okay, as I work, you're gonna see the picture is a little bit darker and a little bit hazier. I'm sorry for that, because while I'm recording, I didn't see that the screen or the camera was recording, and somehow I don't know what was happening on the camera, but it was just going really dark. And after I finished the hat, it was so dark, so I tried my best to lighten up everything in the editing, so that's why the picture will be a little bit like not clear at the beginning of the video, and it looks a little bit dark right now. So I'm so sorry for that. I tried my best, and as you can see, the picture is not beautiful right now, but you can see the details what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm sorry. I tried my best, so I didn't notice until I finished everything. So now this is the last 2 stitches from this row, and we finish it. So I'm gonna take the marker with me again, and now I'm gonna do the same thing to the next row. I'm gonna take every 2 stitches together and knit them together to 1 stitch, and doing this all the way around until I finish this second row of decreasing. And again, as we work, the picture will be a little bit like not clear and a little bit darker. I tried my best. If you saw the row footage, it's super dark. I didn't notice until I finished recording. I was so sad, but I tried my best. I hope everything is nice, and just after this part is finished, everything will be clear and white again and just have a lot of light. So skip this part please, and yeah. Of course, as we decrease, it will be a little bit hard to work because it's so tight and it's a circular needle. It's so annoying. So yeah, I finished the second row. You can stop here. I have about 15 stitches on my needle. So if you are okay with that, it's okay. It's 15 stitches. It's not 62, so it's way better. You can finish you work just like that. But for me, I'm gonna go for the third row of decreasing. It will be so much harder. So if you feel that you can do it, because it will be so tough one to do. So now let's go for it. So now I still have one stitch left here on this row, so I'm gonna just take it with me, just take it as a one stitch. It's okay. Okay, now I have the marker. I'm gonna take it with me again, and again I'm gonna take every two stitches together, and the work here will be so hard, so you can skip this part if you want, but for me I just wanted to make it as less stitches as possible. So I'm gonna continue doing this row until I finish and reach to the stitch marker, and I finish. So as you can see, this is a lot of struggle, and the picture become way like easier. It was super dark in this part, so I guess I did a really good job in lighting everything up and make everything obvious for you to see. So yeah. So as you can see, almost there. Last two. And here we go. So I decreased my stitches to the minimum amount of stitches that I can, so it would be so much easier for me to weave in everything and finish. Okay, the pictures here is so much better because I just saw how dark it was and I stopped recording and recorded again. So as you can see, the number of stitches is way less. It's like few, just like a couple of stitches, and we're almost done. So as you can see, this is the hat, the Santa hat, and now we're gonna finish everything and add the pom-pom. So let's continue our video to finish our beautiful hat. Okay, as you can see, almost done. I have about 8 stitches left on my needle. So I cut the yarn and I'll leave just a small tail. I'm gonna use it to weave in everything and close this gap from above. So I'm gonna take it in this very big tapestry needle because it's really thick yarn. So I'm gonna go all the way in. Of course, you can go just like that and take that needle inside every stitch, but for me I find it way easier if I just take the stitches to the needle, the knitting needle itself, just like that, and just take it from one side to the other side. So I'm gonna take it from the knitting needle to that tapestry needle. You're gonna see in a minute, just in a jiffy. So let's do it. So as you can see, I'm just like switching just like that. It's way easier than doing it the normal way. So you make everything perfect, and as you can see, just in no time, and just take it in. And continue doing this. I still have 2 left. I'm gonna take them to my needle. And 1, 2. So my needle is free. So I'm almost done, but I always love to make sure everything is way more secure. So as you can see, it's secure and nice and closed, but for me, I'm gonna go for another round inside the stitches, weave the yarn inside the stitches again. As you can see, it's more obvious. It's obvious now. I'm gonna go all the way in every stitch, just like that, and weave my yarn inside. So this will help to make the upper part of the hat more secure and more nicer. You can do that if you want. You can skip this part if you don't like it, but for me, I love to make everything secure and perfect. So yeah, and make everything perfect and tight, just like that. Looks way better. And now I'm gonna go inside, just to the inner part of my cap or my hat, and flip it. And now I'm gonna make 1 or 2 knot to make sure this yarn will be secure in place, will not go anywhere, and make everything secure and pretty. So now we finished the hat, and now adding that pom-pom. Okay, this is my hat after I finished it and secured everything. It looks so beautiful. Of course, you can leave it like that if you want, or you can add a little bit of nice crazy thing is the PomPom to finish the Santa hat look. So this is the PomPom that I made. I'm gonna link it in the card description box down below. It's a completely different video, so if you want to see how to make this beautiful PomPom. So I'm gonna use a bigger crochet hook to adjust and like take this PomPom inside. So I'm gonna take it from inside out just like that and just make it in the middle part of my hat, just like that. And I made a really nice tail with my PomPom because I wanted to make it removable. So if I want to wash my hat in the washing machine with the PomPom fixed in it, it will go everywhere, so there's no PomPom anymore. So I need to remove the PomPom if I want to wash my hat. So that's why I made a really nice tail, because I'm gonna just make it like I'm gonna tie like a small like tie inside, so I can remove the PomPom and wash it with my hands, like hand wash underneath the tap water if I need to wash it. So the PomPom is not destroyed because it's like a small pieces of yarn, of course, you know. And as you can see, I just make a small beautiful bow like this. It's inside, no one will see it, so it's hidden inside, and at the same time looks so beautiful on the outside. And it will be like I will be able to remove the PomPom when I want to wash my hat. So this is for this video. I really hope you like it, and I really hope it was helpful and easy for the beginners, and it's nice for this time of the year. And of course, as usual, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and share the video with your friends if you like it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. These links will be in the description box down below. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you have notification every time I upload a new video on my channel. And I'm gonna see you soon in the next video. I love you so much. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and I'm gonna see you in the next year. Bye!